So now my entire section of hair in the front is combed. So the next thing after combing the hair is I like to define the curls. The Denman brush does help comb my hair together, so you can sort of see that it's starting to section on its own, but the sections aren't perfectly sectioned. Like you can see two sections kind of come together. This one sort of joins. There's sort of loose pieces and stuff. So it's like, you know, this would be okay if I just left it alone. It would probably take a lot longer to dry because it's kind of one clump. But by dividing it, it kind of sets all the curls free, and it also makes it so that, you know, more air can kind of get into all the curls, and it defines it so that way if later on I want to do a hairstyle that, you know, needs me to kind of break up my hair, like, you know, divide it, I kind of have already pre-divided my hair in all these little sections. So that used to be one of my big problems, like if I was ever trying to put my hair in two braids. Since I could kind of comb my hair all as one unit, I couldn't divide my hair very easily without ripping like all the curls apart, and then it would just make a big fuzzy mess and it would take a really long time. But now it's just, after I've divided the hair in the smaller divisions, it all sort of comes apart the way it wants. So what I do, and I don't use a mirror or anything, I usually just do it by feel. The looser the curl, sort of like the bigger the section, and the tighter the curl, the smaller the section. But I sort of just let it tell me what it wants. So it's like I feel if there's like a little one here, so I usually just sort of take it out and I just sort of run my hands down it. So this is kind of a bigger section, and I usually just kind of feel where it's wanting to divide. It feels like it's wanting to divide here, and I just sort of smooth it in the direction that it wants to grow, and then I usually sort of just fling it back out of the way, and I usually kind of fling conditioner too. So that's that piece. And here's another piece that feels like it wants to divide. So I just kind of take it out, and because I combed it and it's smooth with conditioner that's slippery, it sort of comes out really easily. So that's like one curl. And hopefully I don't get caught in these little pieces behind me. So this feels like it's another two curls, it felt like. So I'm kind of dividing it out, and all I do is I just run my finger down it, and that's pretty much it. I hold the rest of my hair in one hand so it doesn't smack me in the face and get my glasses all conditioner-y. So there's another curl that feels like it's wanting to be, so I just kind of run my fingers down, and it sort of just defines the curl. And it doesn't really take that long, like, because you can kind of do, sometimes you can do two at once. You know, it doesn't take that long. It just sort of is a way to really let all the curls know they can do their own curly thing. And like when I smooth, sometimes I feel there might be a little knot at the bottom, like there's a little knot at the bottom of this one. So I just take the brush and try and comb the knot out pretty gently, otherwise I'd have to cut it. And then I can smooth it again, and it feels like, yeah, the knot's gone. So then I can smooth that out of the way. And I just kind of keep going. And it doesn't have to be precise. Oh, and if there's like a snarl, I usually end up combing out the bottom again, because you don't want to rip your hair apart because it'll just snarl up and break. So if it doesn't slide out easily, you know, go back to the bottom and release it. And again, it doesn't have to be precise. I just kind of like, and I don't even like doing it in front of a mirror, actually, because sometimes like what I see needs to be divided isn't really where it needs to be divided. It's almost like by feel is better. You can kind of feel where the curls want to go. And so this one, it's kind of wanting to snarl at the end again, which is totally fine. Like our hair snarls, so it's like that's why I always have like the brush and scissors nearby. So I combed out the bottom. This one's a slightly bigger one because it's a looser wave or wavy curly thing. And let's see, this one seems to want to be bigger. And then sometimes I check it if I'm not sure, and if it's dividing in half or dividing in pieces, then I know I probably grabbed two curls instead of one. But it seems like it's staying. And then I just have a few more. And again, it doesn't have to be precise. And I just smooth it down. I'm almost done. So that's that one. And then this one, you can kind of see, it feels like it's, you know, more than one curl. Like I can feel it sort of wanting to divide. And it's fine if it's like a small division right here. Like this is just the curl, this just wants to be its own curl, and that's fine. So it's like I let it be its own curl. And then I sort of feel this one, and now it feels like it should be okay. And I sort of smooth it, and it looks like it might, yeah, that seems fine. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just like, you know, as long as most of your curls kind of are given a direction. So that's the little front section, and again, I like to do both front sections to sort of get them out of the way, and then I can move on to the rest of my hair. It's just like, since this hair is sort of like almost extra hair that hangs down here, I kind of have to treat it a little differently. So now it's done, and this is what it looks like. It still has lots of conditioner. You can see I have lots of conditioner in my hands, and if I squeezed it, there'd be lots of conditioner, but I'm not going to. But this is kind of like what it looks like when I just finally section it, and it's still totally wet. And then I usually just kind of wrap it around this braid to keep it out of the way for the time being. And then I move on to the other front section, and this is kind of like how I really do begin my hair. So you can see it's kind of like I'm dripping conditioner all over everything. So yeah, don't do this in nice clothes.